say pay attention.
News from across the NFL and the Minnesota Vikings in association with VikeFans.com. With your hosts.
I just picked the wrong week to drink.
The Lockstar, Al Hiram.
Did you eat a lot of pink chips when you were a kid? Why?
And Jason, the Beast, Barham.
They think he's a righteous dude.
That was awesome. Boy, is this great!
And welcome to another episode of Horns Up, your NFL weekly rock and roll Viking-centered podcast. I'm your host, Al the Lockstar Hiram, along with Jason Barham. I'm sorry. Could you say that again? Jason.
The Beast.
Barham, there we are. Much better. Much better. Had you keyed down a little. Yes. This is what happens when you try to do everything in one take. We just finished the last week of the season. Week 17 is in the tank. And now we're on to the playoffs. We'll get to that. How you doing today, sir?
I am doing great.
Awesome. What you having to drink there?
Tonight, it's the night for a rolling rock.
Wow.
Time to get some shit rolling in the playoffs.
Wow, you really, when you go for bad beer, you really go for bad beer.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling the skunk tonight.
Pretty spectacular.
It's like a Phil Collins song. Can you feel it? Yeah, tonight, rolling rock.
Can feel it coming up your gorge. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be back.
Yes. So as we said last week, we had Border Battle 2. Who do you think ended up, now, this part didn't make it to our show, but between our guests last week, between the Rhino Queen and Ronnie, who do you think ended up wearing the underwear?
I think old Robbie. I think he better manned up and put on them underwear of his wife.
Made him into some manties or something, huh? Yep. No, that's what happened. He's
the one that said it too. I mean, no one forced it on him. He's like,
he did.
I tell you what, if the Packers win, I'll wear my wife's underwear. So. Whoa! All right, it's getting a little weird here, buddy.
Well, no, he said if the Vikings won, he would wear his wife's underwear.
Yeah,
and that's precisely what happened. What a game! Now, man, I think we need to put in a bulk order for defibrillators after that game. That was insane. I think I had 3 strokes and then 2 minor heart attacks.
Oh, it was great.
This is why you don't watch.
What was the first heart attack?
You know what? I had the stroke, just deleted a lot of memory of that kind of thing. So
was it a stroke or a heart attack at the Patterson fumble?
Both. Well, that one was the heart attack and a stroke. That was like a twofer.
That's a hell of a one then.
Yeah, that was a twofer. Yeah, there was a lot of screaming in our house. The dog started panicking because we were both like yelling at the TV. It was pretty crazy. And I went to a bar to watch it, right? So first I went to this bar to watch it. Because apparently the owner is a big Vikings fan. I go to this bar, and I've got the only purple jersey in the joint. It's all green.
What?
Yeah, it's all green. And I'm like, whoa, my God. And then when we got about the second quarter, I started getting mouthy. It was kind of like, okay, we're going to go home at halftime. Otherwise, this is going to end poorly. Because I was starting to get pissed, and so we go home and we're watching it there. And yeah, and that Patterson fumble, I swear to God, man, you would have thought there was a domestic situation going on. We were just yelling and screaming at the TV, and oh my God, it was crazy. And my lady here, she's not even a Vikings fan. And it was just one of those things where it's like, man, this team will suck you in. It really does. Much to our detriment.
This team will suck you in and drain it right back out of you.
Pretty much. It's a hard team to watch, and last week was no exception. I mean, yeah, we won the game. We did, and thank God we did. But wow. Oh, my God. It was crazy.
It definitely brought all the suspense right up to the last seconds of the game, even though I don't even think that snap should have been legal.
No, I don't think he made it either, but apparently he did. So, you know.
I want to bring something up about that. I think a rule change or something like that should be in effect here in the future. It kind of like the way of like the basketball game does with the shot clock. You know, when that clock hits 0, a light comes on.
Yeah.
So they know exactly when that light comes on that if the ball ain't snapped yet, like if they have to go back in the review, they know exactly that snap shouldn't have been allowed.
Right. Well, that's just one of those things that they can't challenge, you know.
There's no way they can really challenge it because it's like they don't really know. They're just kind of guessing.
Right. They're going by the field clock.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no stopwatches in the hand anymore. You know, that those days are gone.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still just thinking back to it. I get kind of like, oh, geez, wow, dang, this is not that was close. That was a close one, but we came out on top, NFC North champs. Now, the funny thing is, I know it's a big deal for us because we've been so bad for so long, but I remember the days when NFC North champ didn't really mean a whole lot. It was playoffs or nothing, and how far you went in the playoffs, and yeah, it was, you know, NFC conference champs would be better.
Yeah.
You know,
early 2000s, it was like, yeah, division champs, cool, whatever. I guess that's what Packer fans kind of are talking like the same way now. Oh, I don't even really care to win the division. You know, I'd rather have an easier matchup than win the division. Right.
Well, I've seen plenty of Green Bay hats that say NFC North champion, you know, 2013, 2012, you know, that kind of thing. So they're full of crap when they're telling you that.
Yeah.
They have just as many people who think that highly about it. And I was excited for it. I mean, I just was excited that we got to actually say we are the kings of this division right now. We own this division for the next year. So, I mean, that part was great for me, but I'm not going to go buy a T-shirt.
Well, another great thing about that is it's not a one-year wonder really for us either.
No.
There's no reason and no doubt that we are definitely the team to beat in the division going into the next year.
Oh yeah, we're a team on the rise for sure. There's no two ways about that, and I'm pretty happy about that. That makes me tingle in small ways. So I like that feeling. But that game, I mean, looking at the stats, I don't know how we pulled that out. I mean, we got some fortuitous defense. I think is about the only way you can say it because. Looking at the stats, Teddy had 99 yards passing and 1 interception versus 291, 1-1. Peterson ran for 67 yards. We did hold their rushing to nothing. We did hold their rushing down. I mean, they had Chubby McTwinkie Thighs had 34 yards rushing, and Starks only had 24. So we did do good there.
You see who got tied Peterson for rushing yards on the week?
Mr. Hooked on a Thielen.
Yep. I mean,
yeah. Suddenly he's become a little lightning bolt for this team. That's fun to see.
You know what's messed up is he's taking some of the plays away that Patterson would have had a year or two ago, or you would have thought that would have been getting the plays today. Right. You know. Oh yeah. Well, it reminds me he's more explosive than Thielen, but Thielen just sound. Special team sound player, you know, so it's like if you put Patterson in, it would clue him in that something's up right now. Well, yeah, I don't know if you can clue Patterson in. That's the problem we've been having with Patterson. You know, well, the funny thing is too, if you remember back when Tom Moore from Vikes fans interviewed Thielen during training camp, you know, who'd win in the race? The 40, yep, the 40 time. Who would win the 40? He claimed he would beat them all. Well, you know, kid's backing that up now. Some other stats. We got dominated in receiving. I mean, Jones had 102, Rodgers had 59, Devontae Adams had 54. By the same token, our running back Jerick McKinnon was our top receiver with 33. Mike Wallace had 22, and Jarius Red had 21. We just got owned in that category. Of course, we had the Cordarrelle fumble, which just about cost everybody a few years of their life watching that happen. Wasn't as costly as the Green Bay fumble, which Captain returned for a TD.
And I love how, people were saying, no, it wouldn't really if his arm was coming forward. Yeah, even Rodgers knew it was fumble. You saw in his face when they did the slow-mo replay, it was like, ba-bam, the ball goes out, and you could just see him go, oh, shit. And then he takes off after it. Hey, he knew it was a fumble. There's no going back. Defensively, we put 5 sacks on him. That was a nice little treat there. They put 3 on us. We had 8 tackles for loss where they had 5. We had 1 big pick. They had the Micah Hyde pick on that, I don't know what the hell Teddy was thinking throw. But we had 1 big pick in the end zone for Xavier. And, statistically, we had some good points, but it must have been a timing issue or something because they had better points. We got out of that one by the skin of our teeth, but we did, and we won, so awesome there. So it ended up great for us. We are the team to beat the NFC North now. That's a good thing. What did you take away from the game?
Pretty much a lot of the same things you already mentioned. Offense, passing game-wise, weak, very weak. Running game was very weak. It was a defensive game. It was Zimmer in the special teams that won this game. It definitely wasn't North Turner in the offense. Another key thing to take away from the game, we lost Rhett Ellison for the season off a -2-yard pass play, which was terrible.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Did you see how gassed our defense was by the end of that game? They were barely on their feet. They'd been on the field so long. I wonder what the time of possession was on that. Let me look at that real quick, because that was a ridiculous amount of time they were on the field.
That Patterson fumble is the thing that just really changed everything, because the defense just, got off the field. Now they're back on the field.
Right. Just held on. Now finally we get a break, and nope. Oh, my God. And I've got some report going on in the background there. Screw that. But, yeah. Oh, man. Screw you. Let's see. Time of possession. Green Bay had 35 minutes, 42 seconds to our 24-18. Yeah,
not good.
Not good at all. That's pretty abysmal. I mean, that's 6 minutes a quarter. That's you can't win doing that, but we somehow did. Boy, we're talking like we lost the game. But it really is a miracle.
Well, if you would have said a lot of these stats, all right, if you would have said, all right, if I tell you Teddy Bridgewater doesn't even have 100 yards passing, Adrian Peterson doesn't have, he has 2/3 of 100 yards, so he got 67, 70 yards rushing. We don't even have a receiver that caught over 50 yards.
Right.
Passes. Would you say the team won?
I wouldn't.
No.
And it's just weird that, we're talking like we lost, but we won, and that's what makes it even more amazing that we managed to pull out. And that's a character team, really. That's just guts. That's taking advantage of the limited opportunities you're given and just gutting it out. And that's been a hallmark of this team all year.
It's just something that we should be accustomed with the Mike Zimmer defense, and that's what we're going to get. We're going to get games like that where our offense struggles. We're still going to be into not all of the games, but quite a few, most of them. Our defense is not going to give games away unless the offense really gives them away. And I guess that's probably what Zimmer said to Teddy: don't give this goddamn game away by throwing left-handed passes.
Pretty much. Right. Well, by the same token, we've had, 3, maybe 4 games this year where it wasn't on the defense to win the game, where the offense put up points regularly and played sharp.
Yep.
Yeah, we have not had an offense this year. We're a defensive team, and going into next week, hey, boy, who knows what will happen there. But that being said, looking ahead to Wild Card Weekend, the first playoff game we've had outdoors here in Minnesota since 91? Is that what we heard?
Outdoor?
Or, I'm sorry, well, outdoor has been, 76 or something like that. But the first playoff game we've hosted since, I can't remember when. It's been a long, 2001, 2009, I don't remember. It's been a long time since we've hosted
2009, Dallas.
2009, yeah, okay.
Metrodome.
Yep, all right. We did host one with the Favre year. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
But yeah, we're getting to host a home game. We get to host it outdoors, and it's going to be balls cold.
And some Viking fans actually want us to lose so we won't have to play the Seahawks. You know what I say? You're not a true Viking fan.
Right. I mean, come on, man. You beat the team that's in front of you, next man up, next team up. And I like that attitude. I'll take that attitude any day of the week. Screw those guys who say, well, no, you don't want that because you want the easier schedule, blah, blah, blah. And you know what?
I don't give a shit. You know what? If you can't beat the best, you're not the best. You're not going to win a Super Bowl.
On top of that, Washington is not going to be any easier than Seattle. Washington's a dangerous team. I've been saying it for weeks now. You've heard it. People listening to this show have heard it. Washington's a dangerous team, and I think Green Bay is walking into a hornet's nest down there.
I am going to laugh my ass off when we're on our way back for watching a Minnesota Viking victory over Seattle. Mm-hmm. We're going to be listening to it on the radio on our way back. Washington brings the wood to Green Bay.
There you go. I'm
going to laugh my ass off.
I can't wait, man. The lady down here, she's a diehard Skins fan. She'll be cheering for him. And, I tell you what, man. If you listen to ESPN and NFL and all these other guys, we might as well not play the game. Just,
Oh, yeah.
Give Seattle a voucher for their ticket, set them up in a hotel room for the day, and then send them home. I mean, they've already won, apparently.
Oh, yeah. They won it.
Yeah, the game's over. Seattle already won. If you listen to the media, they already did. They whomped us, too. And they just, they made us hurt because, it's just... what kind of attitude is that? I mean, I understand sports prognostication and stuff, but...
When you go down and you analyze the stat number part of the game, yeah, if you look at it like that, I mean, Seattle defensively, against the run, they're number one. Mm-hmm. And if you go against the pass, they're right in the top 10 too. I mean,
Yeah, I think they are number 10 actually. Yep, and but the thing about it is that all this crap you hear over and over and over, and you never. I mean, I watched last night. They had a thing about the game in Minnesota, against the Vikings, right, on NFL Total Access. I just was flipping channels. I saw that, and it was entirely about the Seahawks. They didn't even mention the Vikings. It's like Seahawks. They're playing this game. Seahawks. Oh yeah, Minnesota's involved somewhere, but we're not sure where. Seahawks. It's like, come on, man, really? I mean,
another thing is, if we do beat Seattle, I don't want to hear no goddamn Packer fans saying the only reason you won that game because it was cold out.
Oh, yeah. They never use that excuse.
Oh, yeah. Is that how you won your first couple of Super Bowls, too?
Right. Yeah, it's going to be cold, and it's going to be brutal, and it's going to be actually, I think, work to our advantage at being that cold.
It'd definitely be to our advantage.
Right.
But I honestly give this game a 45% Viking, 55% Seattle. I mean, it's right there and there. Obviously, number-wise, Seattle, better team across the board, supposedly. Mm-hmm. The eye test. The eye test is there, too, And you got to bring in the factor of that postseason experience. They've been there. They've done that. They earned it. That's cool. But I tell you what, we're not a pushover. We're not a team to look past.
Right.
Especially when you got a man like Zim at the helm.
Right.
Of your team, especially that defense. I mean, he turned that defense around. He's definitely got his fingerprints all over this defense now and how the whole package works. This is Zim's team up and down.
Right. I guess
it's not a pushover. And I tell you another thing before you can go in and say whatever you want here because I'm cutting you off a little bit, bud.
No, it's okay. Go right ahead. I'm just agreeing.
You're going to see an intensity level we haven't seen out of Zimmer.
Oh, I think so.
Oh, you're going to see that hard knocks guy that you see a little bit. He's going to be fired up like you've never seen him before in the sideline.
Oh, yeah. Over under on 75 swear words by 10 minutes into the first quarter.
God, I hope they mic him up. Please mic him up.
It'll be one long beep. It'll be like watching the station go off the air. Just beep.
You're like, is he frostbite that bad? No, he's just that.
He's that pissed off, yeah. Well, okay, so the beauty of it is, I mean, the odds right now, the odds makers have Seattle by 5, right? In Vegas.
Started at 7, didn't it?
Started at 3.5.
3.5. I thought it started at 7 and it slowly went down.
No, started at 3.5. It might have gone up to 7 after that, but it started at 3.5. I remember hearing that and I was like, wow, because that's when all the big fish throw their bets down. You know, because Vegas doesn't care who wins. They're trying to even the betting pool. So that tells you where the big fish are betting, right? And then it goes up to 7 for all the people who come in and say, "Oh, I'm going to throw my money on Seattle," and so they have to jump it up to get more people to bet for Minnesota. That's how it works. But they got Seattle by 5 right now. And the media's been on this big love fest, and I think, and this is where I'm going to disagree with you, I'm going to give Minnesota a 70% chance to pull this one out.
Wow, you're actually.
I have my.
You got to take the little homerness out of you, man.
Now here's the reason.
Fight it.
Here's the reason I'm doing that, because the Vikings have always played better when they're the underdogs. When they're not getting credit, when nobody's paying attention to them, when they're the sleeper team, they seem to be a team that, for some reason, fate has decreed that they're the guys who come in and punch the teams in the mouth that, are supposed to blow them out. Yeah. And the higher the stakes, the more that applies. And B, I really think that Seattle's overlooking us. I do think that they're looking at round 2 already. I don't think that they may say, yeah, we're going to take this one game at a time. We're coming in, blah, blah, blah. But I think they're kind of buying their own hype. They're going to come in and they're going to expect to walk all over us. And it's not going to, like you said, Zimmer teams are not pushovers. They're just going to throw back at you and they're going to come hard. And I think this is the time when they tend to play lights out. I mean, the Viking teams, man, when their back is against the wall, like last week in Green Bay, as exhausted as they were, they still get that pick in the end zone. As dominated as they were statistically, they still pulled out the win. It's whenever everybody's betting against them, that's when this team seems to rise to the occasion. And this whole week has been like tailor-made for the fairy tale fall of the giant. It really has, because nobody's giving the Vikings a chance. So I think this is one of those neat little pieces of karma all wrapped up and gift wrapped and left on the Vikings doorstep right now. I think
so you're not buying the Marshawn Lynch little bandwagon here that everyone's on. They got Marshawn Lynch now.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it either, honestly. Right. I don't think Lynch is going to be that big of a factor, actually. I don't
think he gets over 50 yards.
They're going to try and work him in, but I think they're going to work Rawls mostly. They might give him the token start.
Rawls is done for the year.
Or not Rawls, but who's the guy? I forget his name. Man, see, I forgot his name. That's how much he weighs in my mind. But they'll give Lynch the token start and then run that guy for a while. Until they can warm Lynch up into it and that kind of thing. I don't think they're just going to jump him out there and expect him to remember everything and just be, all pro natural. I don't think that's how it's going to work. But I do think
my little theory about this is, imagine this: and give Marshawn Lynch 11 carries, 43 yards, and a losing factor for Seattle. Going into the offseason, what do? Would that be Marshawn Lynch's last game as a Seattle Seahawk?
I doubt it. They're going to pay him. Unless, well, then again, Rawls did really well while he was gone. They won more without Lynch there than they did with him.
They got 1 year left for $10 million on Lynch. I guess, why not? Why not just roll the bones one more time, see what you get.
Yep. Well, no doubt about it. Lynch is a phenomenal running back, but coming off of a hernia surgery and then just jumping right into it, especially in a game as inclement as this one, I'm not sure that's going to work. I don't think that's going to end up well. And I'm going way against the grain by picking the Vikings to win. And I think that there's a very convincing case because it just seems like, I don't know, call me crazy. I probably am. Actually, I kind of know I am, but it's a gut feeling. I think the karma, this weird feeling to this whole week that all this shiny, happy hoopla is going to turn around and bite them in the ass. It's too early for that. It's too early for that. You can't punch your ticket on a Zim team without actually playing the game.
I want to see Adrian Peterson run angry like he did a few weeks ago.
Oh, he will.
It was against Atlanta.
He will. He will. I'm going to guess, unless Norv is a complete idiot, I'm going to guess you're going to see running, and a little more running before we even get to the play actions. Maybe 1 or 2 shots deep to keep them honest, but that's it. You're not going to see much more than grind it out, and they're going to be straight up and down runs. They're not going to be, cute little off sweeps or anything like that. It's going to be just pounded out because Seattle's front 7 are too fast. There's no way you're going to outrun them sideline to sideline. It's got to be straight up.
You got to go straight ahead. Kind of like the first game that we seen how San Francisco beat us down in submission.
Yep.
Knowing that we lost Rhett Ellison, let's bring in that 6 offensive linemen and 2 tight ends that we got left, and let's just do a power package.
Right. We're going to play the Rams game plan. Just run them right into the teeth. Just keep wearing them down. Take the edge off that speed. Then you can get cute. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think between that and that cold weather, Russell Wilson's not going to be able to do those awesome off of 1 foot crossbody passes with a frozen piece of granite in his hands that football is going to be like. So it's not going to be easy to throw in that, and you're not going to be able to do those really tricky.
Be like throwing the rock.
Yeah, it literally will be like throwing a rock. And so if they think he's going to get those pretty little spirals when he does those moves out of the pocket and tries to throw on the run, not going to work out that well. That's cold. When it gets that cold, that ball turns into just a big ice cube, and you don't want to even hold it. It sucks. So
and that's another thing too. Is that going to be an advantage for Teddy Bridgewater, knowing that he uses gloves and is used to them all the time? That's going to help give that grip to that ball when you got a guy that doesn't use gloves. And he's going to be grabbing that ice rock of a ball.
Right. Ironically enough,
you're not going to have that grip like you normally would.
Right. Yep. Ironically enough, yeah, that's very true. Ironically, that's very true. That's very true. Those gloves are actually going to be a little extra benefit. But do I think Teddy's going to throw nice spirals? No. Do I think he's going to, have a career day for passing yards? Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised.
If I was Teddy, I would. When I'm on the sidelines, I'm going to be taking them gloves of mine on my hands. I want to be sticking them right over by them heaters. And I'm going to get them so hot that they're on the verge of melting. So when I touch the ball,
defrost the ball.
Right to it.
I'm sure they know every trick like that there is. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Teddy put up close to, if not 200 yards.
He's going to have to get to 200 yards.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see him right around there.
If he passes for 300, we probably lost the game.
No. I wouldn't.
Because we're passing too much. We're trying to catch up.
No, that doesn't work with us, though. The only way he's going to pass for 300 is if he hits a few deep, then we're going to score on those. But the only time he's going to be hitting those deep is if we're not in desperation mode, because there's no way against the front 4 of Seattle he's going to be taking 7-step drops in desperation time. That's not going to work. It'll be too cold, and yeah, it's just not going to work because they have a great pass rush with their front 4, and a 7-step drop isn't going to cut it in this game. No more of these big Norv Turner, like he's still got Aikman back there trundling back. Right.
Thank God he dropped a lot of them plays.
Yeah.
The shotgun draw plays, the 7-step drops.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Those kind of things are not going to work against this front four. It's got to be direct and a couple over the top if you get somebody splitting open. I think it's not going to be, there's not going to be any showmanship in this game. It's not going to be an aerial battle. I don't think either quarterback's going to hit 300 yards. I think it's going to be a tight and close game.
Well, if Richard Sherman, if he's going to be shadowing Stephon Diggs, Mike Wallace, man, you need to step up. You need to make a play.
He does. If there's a game where everybody needs to make plays, it's this one, because this is the redemption road, as you put it last week. Yep. Then this is the next step they have to take on that redemption road.
The road to redemption.
Right. It's just what they have to do. We have to have players step up. So what do you think the final score is going to be at the end of this kerfluffle here that we're going to be watching in the freezing cold?
24-20.
24-20. All right. You picking for the Seattle, I guess?
No, I am picking the Vikings victory here. I'm picking 2 rushing touchdowns by AP, 1 passing by Teddy, and a field goal.
Okay.
To go up late and make it a touchdown that Seattle needs late.
Okay.
And it's up to Zimmer to hold him from getting that touchdown. It's going to come down. It's going to be a close game. It is going to be a 1-possession game. I just have a big feeling about it either way.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for Seattle by no means. This team has got it in their eyes, the Vikings. This is playoff time. You know, we got some veterans on this team that know this shit doesn't come around often. You look at AP 2009, that magical year we had. When they lost to the Saints, Adrian Peterson sat in that tunnel and he watched New Orleans celebrate that NFC championship.
Right.
You know, that's why I'm expecting AP to come out. I want to see him running with anger, running with authority, and hold on to the goddamn ball. I know last week people are chewing his head off. Oh, AP fumbled. Actually, that was on Teddy.
Yeah, it was Teddy, yep.
So this has got to be a game where AP bring up, this is your time.
Right. Okay.
This is all you, bud, man. I mean, you know Zimmer's going to get your back with that defense. Prefer's doing a really solid job on the special teams. North Turner, get that aggressive, physical running game going.
Right.
And hopefully Teddy can get enough play action passes off. They get some nice plays. I want to see Teddy in 150 to 200 yards.
I tell you what, I see this game it's going to be a battle of which team can put together the most 4-yard runs. It's going to be 4 yards in the cloud of frost. Over and over and over again with some
4
passes.
4 plus 4 is what?
It's
first down.
First down, yep, exactly. And it's just going to be slugging it out. And so I think the final score is going to be a 1-possession game myself, but I think it's going to be 17-13. I think that's how it ends up.
God, it's going to be a cold one watching that shitty of a score.
It is. Well, we're going to have to bring some warmer, get some warm belly going before we even go into the stadium here and stay
I got a confession here.
What's that?
This is actually going to be my first official Viking game.
Oh, wow. Hey, well, at least you get the aerial view.
Well, when I was 18, I moved the hell out of here. I moved down to Florida until I was about 26 years old. So I tried being a Dolphin fan for a little bit. You know,
God.
My heart was still purple.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was the year Culpepper went down there. So I was like, hey, you know what? It's shown me the light, you know, Culpepper. So I had a good buddy of mine with season tickets. So I went to a few Dolphin games that year. And actually the best player on that team was Wes Walker. Super honky, we called him.
Super honky?
Yeah, we were yelling out there, Super honky! He was doing everything. Wide receiver. He was returning punts. He was returning kickoffs.
Yep.
That's why we called him Super honky, man.
That's great. Oh, man. Well,
and actually,
yeah.
I seen the only victory Dante Culpepper got as a Miami Dolphin.
Wow. Well, there you go. There's some history for you there.
Get your roll on.
Get your roll on. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, we'll have to just, you're going to get your Viking cherry plucked in on probably the worst day ever for it. So, yeah.
That's why I said, screw it. You know what? Let's just break it in hardcore.
Right. You're definitely doing that. Definitely doing that. Apparently, there's not even heat in the concourses in TCF. So, yeah, you're going to have to go stand by the hot dog stand and take your time ordering to warm up.
Well, they're trying to be nice about it. They're opening up, I think, the hockey arena or whatever it is right across the street in case you want to warm up. They got free coffee all day. Not Starbucks.
No. It's going to be the ton of Folgers.
You sea chickens. and the other Paul Allen.
Right. There we go. So there it is. There's our scores. Vike fans, we'll see you at the tailgate tomorrow morning. I'll talk to you about that after the show, Beast. We got to make our arrangements for time there. But we'll see the Vike fans crew up there at the tailgate. We'll see them at the game, hang out with them. And like I said, we'll get warm.
We're going to try and get some video up, and I think we're going to be walking around the tailgate in little parties so you guys get a little taste of the cold, frozen festives that are going on up there and get you ready for the game.
Right.
And I hope to God we just shut them out, Put them down.
I hope so too.
Us, I love it. We got a chip on our shoulders. Like I said, the Redemption Road Part 2.
Right. And you know what? Even if we lose this game, with the way everybody's been acting about it, I know we're going to go down swinging, so it'll still be fun.
I know that, like I said, we're not a one-year wonder.
Nope.
We're going to add a few more pieces. We're going to be better. And like I said, next year, I thought, was our year anyways. But I'm not talking about next year yet because we're going to get that goddamn victory on Sunday, boys. On
Sunday. You got it, man. You got it. Hey, man, it's time for us to get going here. Again, thank you, everybody, for listening. This is Al, the Lockstar Hiring, and Jason.
The Beast.
We'll see you next time, next week, hopefully for round 2.